Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tayler Yarish Show, the podcast. I'm going to get this right out of the way. Dig in the shirt. Look at this. Look at this. A lot has happened. It was my birthday 2 days ago. It was fun. It's interesting when you take your birthday off of social media, how drastically the number of people who wish you a happy birthday, like it plummets. It absolutely plummets. Like, cause I took it, it's not on Facebook, and I didn't really put it on Instagram until like later in the day. And it's just, you realize that's how you know the people who know your birthday and those who are just like kind of sliding in, I think the most amount of birthday wishes that I received, or just people wishing me happy birthday, it was because my mother put it on her Facebook, and then this is how lazy people have gotten with wishing somebody happy birthday. And I think I'm guilty of it myself. But so like my mom puts happy birthday on her Facebook, and then people just comment on her post wishing me a happy birthday. Like, I don't even have the time. I'm not going to go to his profile and post it to his Facebook. I'm just going to comment on your picture. Just let me if I have to make 2 more clicks, it's not worth it. I don't care. It's not a big enough birthday. Maybe when he turns 30, then I'll go to his profile and I'll put it, But until then, not doing it, I don't know. It's always about other people, it feels like. That's what my birthday feels like at times. Well, not at times, on my birthday. It's not about other people, but you do feel like a responsibility to be like receptive to everybody's, like how big they want to make your birthday, like how big a deal they want to make it. Like some people I work with, like I would go into work and they're more excited about my birthday than I am. And I'm not like a curmudgeon, but it's just like I don't, it's not that big. It's not that big a deal. And they're like writing cards, and here's a coffee and a cookie and a thing, and it's like, all right, maybe I just don't like the attention, because it's like you don't feel like you did anything, you didn't do anything to deserve the attention. I don't like undeserved attention. Maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I would not. Maybe but like. It just feels weird, especially when it's so like, oh my, aren't you and then they're mad at you because you're not excited that it's your birthday, I don't know. I appreciate everyone who wished me a happy birthday. That's also a soft flex too, when people like at the day after their birthday and they go on, they're like, thank you everyone who wished me a happy birthday. Oh my God, you guys are the best. My fans. That's kind of the feeling, People respond to their birthday wishers as if they're their fans. Like, you guys are the best. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in unless you guys were just giving me the love and the support. I want to thank the Academy, Like, that's how it feels. Get over yourself, You're 27. No one gives a shit. No one really gives a shit. That should be a thing that you try that. Try that next year. Try that on your next birthday. Just take your birthday off of all your social media. Take your birthday off of all your social media and just see what happens. Just see how many people actually wish you a happy birthday and see what it does to you. I don't know. I think that's an interesting experiment for everyone to do. Just to see. Because we put so much out there, right? Because there's a part of us that wants to be, you want it to be received. You want people to respond to it. Like, I'll just put up this picture of me at the coffee shop, but really it's about my ass, it's about my tits, and it's about my whatever. And you want people to be like, oh my God, what? Oh my God, what? You just want the idea that 300 people know it's your, like, that actually give a shit that it's your birthday. They don't. I promise you they don't. Just take it off. Just see what happens. Kate bought me this shirt. It's funky. I called it, it's my Bo Baloo shirt. If you don't know who Bo Baloo is, find him on Instagram. He wears shirts like this, and I'm digging it. I had one shirt that's similar in, like, feel to this, and I didn't buy it. When we moved in, the guy who lived here before us, he had a package downstairs, and it sat there for like 3 months or something like that. And eventually we're like, this guy's not coming to pick his fucking package up. So I opened it, because that's who I am now. I'm like, if you don't want your package, I can't not, if I think, I didn't want to let it go unopened. I'm like, someone else is just going to take this. And it's to our address. Like, this is technically our property now. Not really, but you know what I mean. We opened it. It was the shirt that I'm talking about and a brand new pair of shoes that fit me. Dude, the odds of that are insane. No shoes fit me. Like, none. Most shoes are just too narrow, and I have Fred Flintstone feet. They're just literally solid blocks, just whole rectangles. Nothing fits me, except those, lawnmower shoot up the school New Balance shoes, and Converse. That's it. That's all. That's why I have 6 pairs of Converse, because nothing fits me. But these shoes, I don't even know what brand they were, which is how you knew they were expensive. And the shirt was also expensive. It was like some kind of like crazy linen type thing. I don't know. It was nice. It was the type of shirt where you're like, I don't think I want to put this in the washing machine with all the other shit. Like, I don't have any clothes like that. I don't have any clothes where you're like, oh, this needs to go, you need to wash this on this. Just throw it all in. That's how you know you haven't elevated your fashion, your clothing, apparel game. Is if you could just take all your clothes, throw them in the same washing machine, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just, I don't care. I don't need to treat this. I just need it to be clean. I just need it to not smell. That's where I am. But this shirt was like, whoa, I don't know. I think it might get fucked up with the other fabrics. And I'm, I don't want a ton of shirts like that because it's too much maintenance for me. I can't handle it. I have too much I don't want another thing to think about. If I have to be like, oh, well, this one's on low heat, kill me. I don't want it. I don't want to do it. I can handle it a little bit. If I only have a couple, I can splurge and I can, like, send it out to dry cleaning if it's really that important. But, because if it's a thing where, like, if I throw it in the wash once, the collar's fucked up forever, then what is the point? It's almost like you're getting the shirt to show off the fact that it's so delicate. Like, you're wearing a piece of, art, I guess. You're wearing a very feeble, this is made out of, lamb skin and cloth that was gathered from Uruguay. And, like, it's like, I don't care that much. I'm so, like, just, function over form, over fashion. Function all the fucking way. Most of the time. Yeah. Like, I don't... Kate and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I think that if I was, like, a gazillionaire or whatever, not even a gazillionaire, just if I could afford to get whatever clothes, I don't think I would dress differently. I think I would dress the same way. It would just be... They'd just be nicer shirts. They'd be nicer shirts that I could take to the dry cleaning every day. If you, like, know your dry cleaner, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if it's the same person. Like, if you go to a laundromat or something, most people probably don't relate to this because you have fucking, laundry machines in your buildings or in your home, or you have a home. Oh my God. But the city folk, we got to go to the laundromat, and you know the person who's in there because they're in there every day, it seems like, just folding people's shirts. And God, it's impressive. I feel like such a, POS when I go in there and they're just folding. Like, they're always so perfect. Like, if I drop my laundry off to be cleaned for me, which I do sometimes because I just can't be bothered. I don't have the time to sit there while I can't do it. So I drop it off, and a lady cleans it and folds it for me, and it's so nice that she does that. I know I'm paying for it, but it's also like, I think that if I had that job, the quality would slip very quickly. My first week on the job, I'd be eager. I'd be like, yeah, let's fucking go. I got you. No, I'm going to make this look perfect. My OCD would kick in, and I would just make sure it's all lined up and shit. But, dude, after the second week of just folding other people's clothes for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever it is, yeah, I'm out. No fucking way I'm doing that. It would just start to look, some shirts would be bigger. I don't know how they get it all to be the same uniform type fold, because some shirts are like bigger than other shirts. How do you fold a button-down shirt? What YouTube video did you watch, and can you show me? Because I don't know how to do it. I've tried all the YouTube videos. I watched that fucking that chick who had the Netflix and the book, the Marie Kondo lady. I tried her method, and that's not realistic. She folds them up like, she's going on a backpack, camping trip in the mountains. You got to fold everything down into a little cube, which is not practical at all. I'm not doing that. Talk about ruining your shirts. I mean, she literally folds them 9,000 ways and then stuffs them in a shoebox, and then you put the shoebox in your dresser. It's like, all right, I get it. But I don't know how they're very good at the folding, and they don't have one of those, like a department store. They have boards or something that you put your shirt on, then you fold it or something like that. I don't know. I think I don't know if all stores have that, but I know Hollister did. I had a buddy who worked at Hollister, and they give you a board, and that's how. Dude, Hollister was good at folding. The people who folded the shirts there, man, it just fucking stack it up. That's half of it, man. That's half of what makes you want to buy it. I think deep down, I'm like, I want to buy this shirt because it's folded so nicely. Maybe if I buy this shirt, when I take it home, it'll stay like that. I almost want to just buy clothes, keep them as folded as they are, just put them in my dresser, and just never wear them. So it can just look like I know what I'm doing. I have to do an audit of my clothes. It's so sad that I don't have many clothes, and yet there are clothes that I never wear. I will not wear. And I'm not going to do the thing that, they tell you, you should put all your shirts on hangers and then hang them one direction, and then at the end of the year, you see which ones you haven't flipped around. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to forget that I even started doing that. Also, closet is not big enough. I don't have the space for it. Not going to do it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I got to elevate the fashion game. I've been trying to go to these fucking Brooklyn thrift shops and stuff, because that's where people tell you to go shopping. They're like, I only shop at thrift shops. I pretty much only thrift. No, you don't. I don't think those, just because it's a hand-me-down, I don't consider that it's a thrift shop. It's still not a fucking deal. They're still expensive shirts, If you go to a thrift shop and the thrift store sells merch of their own, I don't consider that a thrift store. It's not. It's just a bunch of randomly plucked designer shirts that somebody wore once and then turned it in because they just couldn't be bothered. All right? You're not I'm thrifting. A thrift store is when you go in and the whole store is disheveled because it's filled of people, they're personal belongings who passed away, and then their family just dumped everything into the store. And there's no way you could possibly organize it because they're things that don't even like where do we put this fucking camera? Like that, is not. We're gonna take it, but there's nowhere on the shelf that we can put this, and so they just throw it somewhere in the store. That's a fucking thrift store to me. And maybe that's called something different, but these trendy kind of hipster, like, we'll just go through and we'll see what we find. It's not a thrift store to me. It just seems it's a workaround. It's a regular ass store. You know what you're doing. You got multiple locations. Like GoodWill, that's a fucking thrift. You know what I mean? Because those people are turning those clothes in because it's a last resort. They've held on as long as they could, and then they're like, someone else will get this because they need it. Because they fucking need clothing. They're not getting this because, they had some hours to kill before dinner, and they, with their friends, and they're like, let's go thrifting. No, people are in GoodWill because they're like, my last shirt, the hole got too big, and now it's not a shirt anymore. So I guess I got to go to GoodWill and just get a shirt. And then this is my shirt. That's what GoodWill is for. And yes, do they have some good things occasionally? Yeah, but usually not. If you're getting something from GoodWill, you got to wash it before you wear it because they say they do, but do they? I don't know. Every GoodWill drop-off, if you've ever given to GoodWill, it's fucking sketchy. You, pull up, and then they're, ask you to back the truck in, and then they just take it and they throw it in the back of a warehouse, and somehow it ends up in the store. And then they give you a little ticket. Dude, who does the sorting for whether or not something's good enough to be in GoodWill? That's got to be a sad day. You think you're donating, you give it to GoodWill, and even GoodWill is like, we can't use this. We don't even want to give this away for free. We don't want to take up our storage space because your things are so shitty. I don't think I'm there, but I'm not mad at a GoodWill. I like walking around them sometimes. The GoodWills in the city are a little sketch. I'll be honest. There's little things. I don't know, something about the lighting maybe of a GoodWill where it's just sad, man. It really does feel. They don't take any time to try and spruce it up a little bit. I'm not saying you got to make the store pop, but it really does feel like you're sifting through the attic of someone who just passed. It's not a fun experiment. You feel like sifting through clothes at the GoodWill, you feel like you should be quiet because there's a wake going on in the background. That's kind of the feeling of it. You're like, oh, maybe this. Maybe we'll get, every shirt is a one-off. You really, GoodWill, when somebody turns something into GoodWill, you really can see the story behind it. You know what I mean? You, pick up, a shirt that's, too small for you. It's a kid's baseball jersey, and there's still grass stains on it. You're like, what the fuck happened here? Why is this here? Did he just quit baseball, or was there a tragedy? I don't know. The one in my hometown, they'd always have a toy section, and it was so sad. Toys just kind of spilled out onto the floor. It looked like a white trash front yard. You know what I mean? Or the toys in the half-built swing set and the little, tricycle thing is just kind of on the lawn. That's what the toy section of GoodWill is like. And then they have you can buy glassware and plates and shit. And it's either there's two levels of it. There's plastic. There's plastic shit. You can see the knife scrapes from when people were using it, and then I don't know. They made it out, and then they they donated their plastic dinnerware, or it's like old antique sets of like dinnerware, but they're not actually nice. You know what I mean? They're not like sterling silver. You're not turning that into Goodwill. They're just old. They're just old as shit plates from like, the 70s that have no value, but they were Nana's, and, her grandson is not going to keep them in his Williamsburg apartment. So he's like, fuck it. We're going to Goodwill. I never shopped there. I did shop at a place. There's a place called Gabriel Brothers. I don't know if they have like locations all over, but I think they rebranded. Now it's just called Gabe's, but it was called Gabriel Brothers, and we would go there as kids, and because it was like in a little like a strip mall type thing near where we lived, and we would go there, and we wouldn't even get clothes. They just had like they had all the racks. It was a huge fucking store. They had a gazillion racks and different sections and everything, but it was still kind of like a piece of shit, so no one cared, And we would go in there and just play tag. It was the most fun because you didn't have to worry. Like, there weren't employees really around, and if they didn't want to be there. They hated their lives, so they're not going to stop your fun. Like, they didn't care enough that you're messing up the clothes or doing whatever, because we would mess up the clothes because it was tag / hide and go seek kind of. It's like hide and go seek tag. So, I mean, I'm like, I was like, if I was in the military, I would be the dude who would hide out. I'd be the dude hiding out, spying. I'm a spy. You know what I mean? So like when I would hide, I would bury in the middle, like, like a clothing rack, they have the kind of center that's hollow. Dude, I would dive in there. I would go to like where like the fucking fur coats are or something. I would just fucking plop in there and moving around. And there's still other people in the store. You know what I mean? The hours are active. Like, so there's people shopping. It'd be like a woman, and she's like going through the dresses, and all of a sudden I pop out and give her half a heart attack, you know what I mean? I'm like, sorry, shh, now can you not? Shh, I'm trying to hide. Can you, like, kids don't do that nowadays, I feel like. Like, we'd play for hours, Like, now, I feel like kids, you can't even get outside alone anymore. We would walk to the store and play tag in the store, and yeah, we got in trouble occasionally. Because once I was like running away. I think someone like tackled me through a clothing rack. And like it just went fucking everywhere. And they're like, all right, get out. And then it just became a game of hide and seek with the employees. That was like the next level of fun. Oh, gotta take a fucking piss. Jesus Christ. What was I saying? I did a show recently at a country club in Long Island. I had never been to Long Island. Kind of embarrassed to say that. I don't know. I've lived here for a long time. Haven't been out there. And it held up. It was everything that I thought it would be in a place. I've heard, there's like the Hamptons. That's kind of what I thought of when I thought of Long Island. But I knew that there was a subset of Long Island that just had like a mix of trash and rich waspy people, and then trash people who became rich waspy people. And that's kind of like, that was the vibe of who we were performing to. My buddy he grew up out there, and his family belonged to like this country club, and it's the type of place where you go in there and I'm like, oh, there's 4 grandfather clocks just like in the lobby. Okay, cool. It's going to be one of those, everyone's got a jacket on and just a real good old boys type of thing. And man, did we stick out like a sore thumb. Like we did not belong there. But I don't want to. You know, I'm glad, like, I didn't feel out of place. I mean, I felt out of place, but I didn't feel like, man, I wish I could fucking hang out here. It just felt like old, and it felt like, oh man, there was a time when people were excluded from coming here because of what they look like. I mean, that's just what the vibe was. And some of these people, I was like, it feels like I'm performing to the descendants of Titanic survivors, because that was kind of the vibe, you know? All of these people would have stolen a child to get on a lifeboat. 100%. 100%. And, yeah. And they were just fucking, I don't know. The type of people where, like, they have so much money that, you know, their social cues are not, they're not adapted to, like, normal people, you know? And we're just seen, we're viewed as, like, the clowns. You know, oh, you just came here to do a little show for us. And then we were in the bar getting a drink afterward. And, yeah, people just come up to you. It's so funny. People will come up to you and they just say exactly what they thought right to your face. You know? Like, ah, man, that was tough, huh? Like, they'll just say what they liked, what they didn't like, what they thought you could do differently. And then, oh, here's a suggestion for next time. It's like, dude, you have no fucking idea. You know? And I get it. You're kind of paying me. So maybe I have to sit here and take it. But, oh, man. It's so, like, people's perception of what comedy even is. Like, when you get to a certain age and they're like, oh, yeah, I love comedy. And you're like, oh, yeah? Well, like, if you go out to see it sometimes? Like, we went to a comedy club downtown. Which was it called? And I'm like, oh, was it the Comedy Cellar? Yeah, I think it was the Comedy Cellar, and Jerry Seinfeld came in. Oh, cool. When was that? Oh, this was 20 years ago. Oh, okay. Cool. Got it. Yeah, it tells me everything I need to know. Thank you. And Jerry Seinfeld came. Can you believe it? Can you believe that Jerry Seinfeld, of all people, came into the comedy? You know, these people's clothing are not going to end up at Goodwill. That's the point. These people they have the sterling silver. You know, their clothing, it doesn't, you know, I don't even know where their clothing goes. Like, where does rich old people clothing go? Because it's too nice to go to Goodwill, I think, but it's not hipstery and trendy enough to go to the hippie thrift store. Maybe I'm all wrong on this. Maybe people do give their nice shit in Goodwill, and I just haven't seen it. You know? They probably just go to, like, smaller charity type stuff. There's a lot of there's more than Goodwill and just your trendy thrift store. There's a lot of places that accept clothing and knickknacks and whatnot. They even have those you ever see, like, those shoe dumpsters on the side of the road? Where they're like, you know, you don't want your shoes anymore? Drop them here. And it's just like it basically is a giant, like, shoe dumpster. It looks like that, you know, that room in the Holocaust Museum when it's just filled with shoes. That's basically it. It's like a drop-off point for shoes. It's like, is there a locking mechanism on this? Like, how do you drop them in and then not have people, I don't know, man. I feel like you don't want and it's not like a manned station. You know what I mean? There's not like someone there accepting the shoes, taking a look at them. It's just a bin that somebody maybe collects, like, once a month. You don't want to vet those a little bit? do they tie them together in the shoelaces? Like, do you have to then go and is it someone's job? Is it someone's job to go in and have to pair up the dirty shoes to each other to then go drive to the, whatever? God, it must smell bad in there. I don't donate a lot, I'll be honest. I want to donate, but here's how I know I don't really want to donate, because I'll put a bag together of shit to donate, and it will sit in the bag in the corner of my apartment for 2 months. And then eventually I'll be like, it's not worth it. Let's just throw it out. I've done that. Done that before. I've like, there's been times when I just will take a shirt and I'll just throw it in the garbage. And it's like, it feels good. You got to rip that Band-Aid off, but it feels fucking good to just be like, yeah, you're out of my life. You're out of my life forever. Oh, man. Well, we had our last show, the Yardbar Comedy show we did. It was insane. It was so good. Just killer after killer after killer. It was probably our best show yet. So if you haven't come out and you live in New York, you should come out. Message me. We'll get you in there. Our next show is going to be really good. I know I say that about all of them, but I'm really excited about the person that we have on. We actually can't even announce who it is until a certain date, because they're doing other shows and they don't want it to take away from, I don't think it would, but they don't want it to take away from the shows that they're doing, on their own. So we have to wait to announce it, but it will most likely sell out. I'm going to really be embarrassed if it doesn't, because the venue only holds fucking 35 people. So, yeah, come on out. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's the podcast this week. Yeah, thank you so much. See you next week. Peace.